follow me on Instagram, you would have seen me post a picture of this when I first received it. I was really pleased. I could not believe that Jane actually sent me this to review for the site. I was just so generous, and it was one of those moments where I opened the package and I looked at the box and it said Lorac Pro 2 palette, and it's one of those times when you think, okay, so there's going to be something totally different in that box. She's just used it for packaging. That is not what this is. And when I opened it up, I was in absolute shock and awe, because I've wanted to try Lorac shadows for such a long time. Or Lorac, I don't know how you say it, but I say Lorac. But yes, I'd wanted to try them for ages. The Lorac Pro 2 palette speaks more to me than the first one does. The first one is all neutrals. I feel like I've got a lot of neutral things going on. I've got the Nude Tude palette, all three nakeds, the Naked Basics, the Too Faced, the Smashbox Full Exposure. I've now got my Pulp Fiction palette, so I just feel like I've got nakeds and nudes sort of covered, and the Pro 2 palette definitely spoke to me more because it has some really nice colours in there, as well as your more neutral base sort of colours and crease colours, and I feel it's like more of a complete palette. Now if you watch my videos you will know when I get a palette I much prefer that it is actually a palette that I can use to do a whole look. So I like a palette that gives me a base colour to put underneath all of my shadows that I'm going to put on top. I like a highlight colour. I love a crease colour, and then I like an eyeliner colour, and then colours obviously for my lids, but I like it to have some neutrals and some colours in. I feel like this palette totally ticks all of the boxes. It's just a cardboard palette, but it has quite a really soft feel to it. It's actually really quite nice, and it's very slim, so that's really great for storage. I've actually got this sort of letter rack that I actually store my palettes in. This is what it looks like. So I got this for £7 from Asda, and I've got my three naked palettes and my Naked Basics at the back, and then on the front I've got Nude Tude, Smashbox Full Exposure and Too Faced, and these are all my naked ones. And I actually just store the Lorac Pro 2 palette there because it fits in beautifully, because it is so slimline. It's a really great size. So I absolutely love that about it, and I do love the feel of it. I feel like I've used this a lot, but it hasn't got too messy with fingerprints. So I don't know whether that's me being careful, I'm not really sure, but I feel like it's not showing wear and tear, which is also a really good feature of it. And in this palette, you do get 16 colours, and you do get a mirror. The mirror is actually a really good size also. It's almost the whole of the lid. It just says Lorac Pro on it. So it doesn't like anywhere on the front say Pro 2. Which is a bit of a shame, but I think because they've made both palettes different colours, you can actually see which one is which, so I think that that is actually a pretty clever idea. And then inside the palette, that is what it looks like. So you've got a really nice mix of colours. You have your matte colours along the top and your shimmery colours along the bottom. As you can see, you've just got a really great mix there. Decided to do was I could have done a review, very excited, could have done the review straight away and just said this is what I've got and these are the swatches, but what I wanted to do was actually use it for a good couple of weeks before I actually reported back, so I can actually say what I actually think of the shadows now that I've been using them, and I have been using them a lot. This has been my go-to palette for weeks, and it's all that I've been using, hence there's quite a little dint in some of these shades, but you can see they're quite used. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swatch these colours for you. So we're going to shift to a different camera angle, and then I'll have a chat with you about what I think about them. Okay, so moving on to swatches, we're going to go along the top line first and then the bottom. The top line are the mattes. You have Buff as the first colour, which is what I tend to use as my base colour. It's just a lovely sort of vanilla sort of colour. It's like a yellowy shaded cream colour. Really nice, really love it. And I'll do them in 4s or something just to fit them along. The next colour is a colour that I absolutely love for my crease, and this one is called Light Brown. Really gorgeous colour, and I just love that in the crease. I think it's really nice. I've got this colour in my crease today, Cool Grey. I would normally not wear that in the crease, but I am wearing a darker shade that will come across further along. So it is very nice. It's nice on its own as well. If you want a grey smoky eye but you don't want to go too dark, you can't go too wrong with that one. And then the last colour in this 4 that I'm going to show you here is called Nectar. And this is kind of a peachy rose gold sort of colour, and it's really, really pretty. And again, it's a nice sort of crease colour. So here you have got buff, light brown, light grey, or cool grey, sorry, and then a Nectar. I love Nectar. It's a very, very pretty colour. Really, really gorgeous in the crease. So that's the first 4 there. Moving on to the last 4, these have to be my favourites in the whole palette. The first one that you've got here is Plum. I love this colour. It's so, so pretty. It's a beautiful, very deep purple colour, and it's gorgeous. It's kind of like an eggplant colour. Then you've got Navy. Now what I love about Navy, it's actually got a really beautiful blue content to it. And you know, that sounds mad, but some navies can be just a hint too dark and they border on black. You can see when I show you the swatch of this that it's actually a really beautiful blue colour, and it's actually very intense. This is the colour I have on my lids today. It's called Charcoal. This is a gorgeous grey, very cool toned, beautiful for a smoky eye, which is what I've done today with it. And I absolutely love Charcoal. It's really, really nice colour. And then the last one is Black. And that's what that one looks like. And as you can see, these are very pigmented. They're very buttery and easy to work with and very easy to blend. So that's what these colours look like here. So you have Plum. As you can see, these are so beautiful. They are a beautiful matte shade, and they're just so pigmented and beautiful to work with. This colour here, Navy, is gorgeous all the way across the lid. I just absolutely love Navy. Then you've got Charcoal, and then this one's Black. The black is not like super intense when you actually swatch it. It's not the most pigmented of blacks, but it's still a nice black and it's buildable. So I absolutely love the top row. I think you've got some quite nice colours here. Obviously they're not very mega bright colours, so it's colour without it being like a crazy colour, like electric palette sort of bright. So I just think they're really, really gorgeous. And I love the top row. I love mattes anyway, so I do like a palette that has a good mix of mattes and shimmers, because I don't want all shimmer. So I feel that this palette has a great balance, and that navy blue, just beautiful. Right, moving on to the bottom row, which are the shimmers. We'll do some swatches of these. I will put photos of the swatches in at the end as well for you, and there will be a blog post coming up as well. The first one is called Snow, and it's just a very beautiful, shiny sort of white colour. Really nice for the brow and also really nice for the inner corner. I do have that one on today. And the next colour is Beige. This is another soft sort of highlight colour. It's almost like a champagne colour. So if you don't want something quite as bright as white as your highlight, that's a really beautiful colour to choose. The next colour is Rose, or Rosé, because it does have an accent above the E, which is a rose gold sort of colour. And it's really beautiful. I love this one all over the lid. I'm totally in love with this one over the lid with the beige highlight, which is a lot more softer, and Nectar in the crease. Really love that look. The next colour is Mocha, which of course is a lovely brown, and it's really nice. It's got a bit of warmth to it, but it's got a beautiful shimmer to it too. So that's what these colours look like here. You have Snow here, which you can see is that beautiful white highlight colour. Beige, as you can see, it's a beautiful highlight, but it's just a lot more pared back than this. So if you don't want something all out bright white, then you can definitely go for something a lot more neutral. Then you've got Rosé, which is a beautiful rose gold, and Mocha, which is a lovely shimmery warm brown. Love these colours, and I've been using them so much. The next colour in the palette is called Chrome. This is the one that I'd say is totally misnamed, because Chrome to me is a shiny silver, but it's a beautiful colour. It's just wouldn't have called it that. It's just quite unusual. The next one is Silver. I love this. I can't get enough of this. I love it along the lash line. I love it on my lids. It's just a beautiful silver. The next colour is called Jade. It's more of a mildew, sort of murky green sort of colour. And I don't mean murky in a bad way, it's just I wouldn't have said jade for this. It's really quite a deep dark green, but it is really beautiful. This one is just stunning all over the lid, and I really like that one. And then the last one is called Cocoa, which is just a lovely deep dark brown colour. And I feel like this one is a bit more cool toned. So that's what these four look like. So you have Chrome, which is more of a browny mauve shade to me. And then you've got Silver, Jade, which is, as you can see, a very deep mossy sort of green colour, and then Cocoa, which is a beautiful deep dark brown colour. So that is the shimmer shade selection. These are a lot more neutral. You don't really have any great colour along the bottom apart from the green, but even then the green is really very sort of deep and quite dark and muted. So it's colour, but it's colour that can be worn with a lot more ease than if it was like a beautiful lime green. Lime green would be lovely, but it really wouldn't sit well with the rest of the palette. It's just a really beautifully well balanced palette. And this retails for £38 on the absolutekolor.co.uk website. They do have the Pro 1 palette in as well, but as I said, if it is out of stock, pop your email down and she will let you know as soon as the items are in for you. So, as for my thoughts on this palette after a couple of weeks of using this, I think it's completely amazing. It is, for me, a complete palette, and it does have a great mix of colours in. It's got colour in, but it's not bright colour. So it's actually colour that is actually quite subdued. So if you are a person who doesn't like bright colours, you can still love this palette. It's got colours in here that are great for night time, for autumn, for winter, but it's also got some great summer colours in. So I just think that this is kind of an all-round, all-year sort of palette. The shadows are very buttery and very pigmented. There is a little bit of fallout with some of the shades, but nothing hugely dramatic. I mean, if you put a bit of loose powder under your eye, or you've got a big fluffy brush handy, you can get rid of it straight away, so it's nothing huge. Most shadows, or in my experience, most decent shadows that I've come across, do have a little fallout. It's just like that with Urban Decay, but they're brilliant shadows. These shadows stay on my eyes all day long. That's partly to do with the primer, I suppose, but I think it's also because they're just so rich and pigmented, and they're so buttery, but they blend beautifully. They don't blend away to nothing, so you can put them on and you can work with them and you can add colours to them, and they don't go all muddy or just lose intensity or just disappear. They actually work really, really well together, and I just find that they're just brilliant to work with. I mean, I love this. I've got on today Nectar, which is my absolute go-to colour. I don't know if Lorac do singles, but Nectar is just so beautiful in the crease. I absolutely love it. I feel like, you know, like I've said, it's got crease colours, eyeliner colours, highlighters. It's just got everything you need to do a complete eye, and it's a real great mix of colour. So you know, maybe you don't want to go for this really beautiful navy, maybe that's too much, but the mossy green is colour, but it's not really intense, and it's really, really pretty on the eye. That works really well with cool grey in the crease, just looks really great. So overall, I would have to say I absolutely love this palette, and I do highly recommend it. I do think it's quite a nice break from all of the naked palettes that have been coming out, all of those neutral shades, because this still gives you that neutral fix, but it gives you some other colours to play with. I mean, there are a lot of neutral colours in here. I want to say there's like 12 really, because I would count like the silver and the greys in with that. So you've really only got you know, the green, the blue, the purple and the black as your other colours, but the black is, I think it's such an essential in a palette. I mean, I do get sick of the blacks in the sleek palettes because they release them a lot and you do get like blacks in most of them, but I think in this you do need that black because it really works well as a liner colour. It's great under the eyes and above, but it's also a really nice shadow, and it's not the most pigmented of black, but it's very buildable. So I just think this is like an all year, all occasion type of palette. You've got those nice shades to add sparkle. Silver is beautiful. I had a picture on my Instagram the other day using the silver, and I did use the plum as well, and I think I used the chrome, which I tend to call mauve because that's how I see it. But yeah, it's also a great palette to travel with. I use it loads, and as you can see, I mean, I haven't cleaned it, but it doesn't have too many prints on it. So I actually think, although it's just a cardboard packaging, it has that kind of rubbery feel to it, and I just feel like it doesn't, like, the fingerprints don't stick to it too well. I don't know if that explains it really well, but I just feel like I've used this most days and it's really not shown too many signs of wear. The mirror is a good size also, although I don't use the mirror in palettes. I always think that the mirrors in palettes should have some magnification to them. Not all of us have the best eyesight, but not just that. It's like, if you're going to be working on eyes, using an eyeshadow palette. I think a nice magnified mirror in a palette so that you can actually see close up and get really in and do a lot of detail. I think that would be really great in a palette. I'd love to see somebody do that. But overall it's a fantastic palette. I have to say a huge thanks to Jane at Absolutekolor for sending it to me, because I absolutely love it loads and I've been using it a lot. So I definitely would invest in Lorac in the future. So the website that this came from was actually absolutekolor.co.uk, and I will leave the link to the website in the information bar below. I did chat about them in my last haul video because I showed you a lot of lipsticks that I'd actually got from them, and I have ordered quite a lot from them since discovering them, and I actually discovered them because of my lovely friend Charlena. Now the site itself has just a lovely array of products. It's not a huge range of products, so you're not like delving through lots of stuff. It's actually just got really lovely products that we have a lot of problems finding in the UK or that we don't get. So you can just go on there. I got my Milk Cosmetics lipstick. I'm wearing Belladonna 2 today. And they've got eyeshadows, they've got lipsticks, they've got glosses, they've got so many things. It's brands I've never heard of, but brands such as NYX, like the matte lipsticks and the macaroon lipsticks that are quite hard to get hold of unless you want to pay a lot on eBay. And they've also got the Wet n Wild matte lipsticks, which I'm definitely going to try because my lovely friend Scooby123, I think it's 123, she actually recommended them and she said that they're fantastic. And what I also love about the site is, because these items are very difficult to source in the UK, it would have been very easy for them to make those prices very much higher, and we would have paid it because we want to get our hands on these beauty goodies. That's what us beauty addicts are kind of like. We're like, I don't mind paying a little bit more, I really want to get a hold of it, and I can't do that unless I get it from this site. So she could have made the prices really much higher, but they're actually really affordable, very relevant prices to the sort of US prices. So I think that that is really good. She does go out of stock quite quickly on some of the very popular items, like this has been in and out of stock like a yo-yo. But there is a feature on there where if you put your email address in, she will actually email and let you know when the stock is back in, so you can pick it up then. So it's very good. I mean, it's really sensible because obviously she doesn't want to order 100 of something and then people like not buy it. So I think it's actually a really sensible way to run a business, to me, so that you're not left with a massive amount of stock that you can't shift or can't move on. So yeah, she has got the Lorac Pro palettes and I was very excited to see that. Now I couldn't afford them at the time, so I just kind of thought, oh, I'll just wait. And then they went out of stock, so I put my name on the waiting list, and then I got the email, but I couldn't afford them. And then it must have come back in stock, and at that time I couldn't afford it, but then she sent it to me to review. So really huge thanks to you, Jane. This really made my day. I was quite ill at the time that I received it, so I don't know, it really lifted my spirits. It was quite something of a surprise. So I was really excited, and I just highly, highly recommend you check out the site. The customer services is also fantastic. I ordered something, a lipstick or something, and then I went back on and thought, oh, I should have ordered that as well, so I ordered something else. She actually noticed I'd placed 2 orders and paid 2 delivery charges, so she emailed me and said, I'm refunding you the delivery charge for your second order and I'm shipping it all together, and I got that refund straight away. That was just fantastic customer services. I've never had that before from any site, and there are other sites that are like sort of small businesses and they've never extended that courtesy to me, so I just thought that that was just really amazing customer services. So because sometimes I'm a bit hesitant and I think, oh, I'll just get that, I shouldn't really get anything else, but then I think, oh, I really wanted that though, so I go back and get something else. I try not to do that though, because obviously I don't like paying too many delivery charges. But yes, that was just really, really lovely. I was so appreciative of that. Everything comes packed really well and it comes so fast. Literally you order and 2 days later your order is there. It comes in a purple packaging, so you can always spot that it's from Absolutekolor, and it's just really, really great. So I absolutely love the customer services, the shipping, the postage cost is fair, and it's just a fantastic range. So I can't say enough about how amazing this site is. Please do go and check it out, and just keep on keeping an eye on it because they keep on getting things in stock. They've also got It's Judy's Life or It's Judy Time palette in from BH Cosmetics, which I think was quite difficult to get in the UK, but she does have that in stock at the moment. So if you are a Judy fan, then you might want to try and get your hands on that now, because she has it. So yeah, Absolutekolor, give them a visit. So thank you very much for watching as always. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Do let me know what you think of the Lorac Pro 2 palette if you do have it, or if you have it on your wish list in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'm going to love and leave you there and see you all soon. I've been Spacey's #1 girl, and this is the colour of my kiss.